We'll start with invocation prayer.
Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Isavasya Upanishad. We will chant first 7 mantras.
Om Ishavasya sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjithamagrudhah kasya svidhanam kurvanneveha karmani jijibhisheच्छतगो समाहा एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे असूर्यानामते लोका अन्धेन तमसावृताः तागुस्ते प्रेत्याभिगच्छन्ति ये केचात्महनो जनाः अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नैनद्देवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतो ज्ञानत्येति तिष्ठत्तस्मिन्नपो मातरिष्वा दधाति तदेजति तन्नैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्दिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतान्यात्मन्येवानुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न विजुगुप्सते यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतान्यात्मैवाभूद्विजानतः तत्र को मोहः कः शोक एकत्वमनुपश्यतः
Topic one talked about path of renunciation and meditation. That is mantra 1. Topic 2 was path of action, mantra 2. Topic 3, if neither suicidal, mantra 3. And from mantra 4, topic number 4 starts. It's called goal of evolution, spiritual evolution. So mantra 4 to 8. So we'll chant mantra 4, please.
अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नैनद्देवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतो ज्ञानत्येति तिष्ठत्तस्मिन्नपो मातरिष्वा दधाति अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नैनद्देवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतो ज्ञानत्येति तिष्ठत्तस्मिन्नपो मातरिष्वा दधाति.
Translation. That is unmoving. One, ekam, faster than mind. The senses could not reach it. It ran ahead. Remaining stationary, it outruns other runners. It being there, air sustains life. Now, mantra 4 and 5, in fact, they describe supreme reality. Mantra 4 talks from microcosm level, individual level. And mantra 5 describes supreme reality from macrocosmic level. So mantra 4, individual level, mantra 5, universal level or cosmic level. Now, if you try to understand this translation, what is the saying? And we are discussing Upanishads. It's a typical example of using language of contradiction to convey something which is transcendental. In fact, language falls apart, it breaks. I think in introduction we did mention this point, that if you want to capture something physical, it can be done. Write an essay on Niagara Falls. Makaran can write. Last week he was there. So it's relatively easy. How would you describe your emotions? Write an essay on how much you love your child. One or two lines if you can write, it will be, I will congratulate you, right? Intellectually is far more difficult. So therefore, if you go to higher maths or even chemistry, physics, it's all in science. E equals mc square. What does it mean? It means everything, right? So as you go subtler, even in the terrestrial world, language cannot capture the thought, the concept. So here, the enlightened master is trying to convey supreme reality, which is beyond words, which is transcendental. So how do you capture it? It's not possible. So therefore, language is breaking, as it were, is falling apart, because theme is transcendental. Number one. Number two, also is a typical example of all these great masters. They want us to stretch our intellect. So only when you try to figure out what are they saying, your intellect is stretched. Bhagavad Gita uses language of contradiction from time to time. So when you stretch your intellect, your life becomes easy. That is the whole purpose. Problem with you and I is we do not use our intellect. First of all, it is not developed, it's lying fallow because we have not put any efforts since our childhood. The whole thing is about acquiring knowledge. There is hardly any course anywhere, there is hardly any attempt to strengthen our intellect. So here is an opportunity for us to stretch our buddhi, stretch our intellect. And when you stretch your intellect, the practical application is your life becomes absolutely smooth. All our problems, whether personal problems, in a relationship, at work, in a society, in a community, or two nations fighting against each other, or whatever it may be, it is due to lack of intellect. Because intellect is very poor. Why it is poor? It is not developed. So when you stretch your intellect, when you fortify your intellect with the help of this knowledge, you are able to apply that clarity of thinking in your day-to-day life. So that's the practical application. If you take any conflict, any problem, just for understanding what they are saying, there's a conflict between two people. Let's take our typical example of husband and wife. It is a good example, appeals to good many of us. Applies also maybe to good many of us. We don't know. So in 99.99% of the cases, actually there is no problem. But there is a problem. For the conflicting parties, it's the end of the world. But if you try to analyze most of the cases, there is nothing. Is mind is playing the tricks. But since intellect is not developed, you cannot understand, you cannot reason, you cannot figure out, hey, where I'm going wrong, what's happening, and it continues. Sometimes, 25, 30, 40, 50 years, and there is no end to it. It could be problem at workplace. So what is it that which is going wrong, right? It could be at a society community level. I'm not getting into the details. Right now the whole world is talking about war. Actually, what is it? If you analyze it, it is nothing but clash of ideologies. It is as simple as that. Now you believe in a particular ideology, you live your lifestyle, you do whatever you want to do. But you cannot impose your ideology on others. I cannot impose my ideology on you all. So Vedanta is the best knowledge. All of you should get this knowledge. Incidentally, it may be true, but who am I to impose my views on you? Similarly, you cannot impose your views on me. So how you manage your relationships, how you manage your profession, how you take your decisions in life, how you invest your finances. It's not easy. Most people, you may earn money, hardly anybody can, they know how to conserve wealth. You need intellect for that. So to manage every aspect of your life, what you need is a powerful intellect. To steer your life towards spiritual progress, what you need is a powerful intellect. See, if you're caught up in day-to-day mundane problems, what spiritual evolution you're talking about? At home, there is no peace. You don't know how to relate to your children. Finances are in a mess. Debts are mounting. Nowadays, they use the term cute debt. Now, what is this cute debt? I don't know how many of you have heard that. Small debt. It is cute. It is manageable. You know, so that you can shop. You can shop now, pay later. It's called as cute debt. You like that purse. $2,000, buy it, no problem. You need to pay $100 in installment. It's cute. You know, you need powerful intellect to understand that. Is they're trying to trap me. So if you are caught up in day-to-day problems, family problem, work problem, this problem, that problem, how can you steer your life towards spiritual evolution? And this discussion itself is a compromise. I mean, Upanishad is over. Right now, we are just, I don't know, some time pass is going on. Mantra 1 itself, it was done. So that's the level they are talking about. So coming back, when you stretch your intellect, your life becomes easy. That's the practical application. So when I was preparing for my MBA entrance exam, long time back, 30, 35 years back. So I don't have a science background. We did business math, 11th, 12th grade and all that. And for MBA, what you need is you need to master business math. So the level could be, let's say, from 8th grade to 12th grade. So it gets tougher. I mean, some of the whatever the problems they ask us to solve in entrance exam, they could be challenging. So I had joined coaching class, very good coaching class. And maybe, I don't know, there were like 60, 70 of us. 8 to 10 students, they were from engineering background. In fact, they were in fourth, fifth year or whatever of engineering. And for them, that what math we had, I mean, it was like they used to laugh at us. Why you guys are struggling? And the teacher is to write it on a board and give us maybe whatever, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. Most cases like this, they will get the answer because their intellect is stretched. You get my point. So though we are struggling, for them, it is a child's play. So what is the practical application? When your intellect is stretched, right? You can apply that intellect to deal with your life's problem. It's no big deal. That is why we surrender to a guru, higher intellect. For him, it's no big deal. But it's everything for you and me. Oh my God, right now, this is a problem happening in my life. Inwardly, he doesn't understand what is your problem because he has a giant intellect, but it's not for you and me. So when you get the strong intellect, when you develop strong intellect, powerful intellect, your life becomes very easy. So get the thought flow. So therefore, intentionally, they present some of the verses in a roundabout way so that we'll start thinking. So there is a language of contradiction because theme is transcendental and also they want us to think. So therefore, he is talking in riddles. And coming back to mantra, that is unmoving. And also it is ekam, it is one. Supreme reality is unmoving, anejad, because it is everywhere. It is all pervading. Object can move from place A to place B where it does not exist. If it is already existing in both the places, what movement are we talking about? So since supreme reality is infinite, it is everywhere. So how can it move? You and I can move. I'm here right now. I can be there where Makran is there. Makran can move from where Veera is sitting. So there is a movement. But if an object or entity is everywhere, it is all pervading, what movement? So therefore, supreme reality is anejat. It is unmoving. And also it is ekam, it is one. It is homogeneous mass of consciousness. The pluralistic phenomena called world, the universe, is nothing but one supreme reality. Just as the pluralistic phenomena of the dream is nothing but one waker's mind. So that example is useful. It is faster than mind, intellect, senses, and action, meaning it enlivens body, mind, intellect. It is as simple as that. See, and even if you try to understand further, intellect can stretch and imagine something new. Let's say you are looking at the bright sky, and admiring all the galaxies, billions of galaxies you can see. even with the naked eye and with a very powerful telescope, you can peep further into the universe, right? And inquisitive intellect, imagines, okay, that's the farthest point I can see. That's the farthest galaxy, which is whatever, 20 billion light years away or whatever. Is there anything beyond that? And maybe after 20, 30 years, we find out, okay, there is another galaxy. But supreme reality is always there. So it is all pervading. So therefore, it always wins the race at a level of the intellect. Or when it comes to perception, you go to Manhattan and you go to, which is the tallest building where there's an observatory right now? One Nation, what is it called? One World Observatory, I think. Yeah, that is the where, like, the towers used to be there. It's the highest place, tallest place in Manhattan. So you go on that viewing deck, right? And you can see, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 miles, 30 miles, And on top of that, you get binoculars. Maybe you can see 40 miles, 50 miles. So Brahman is already there because it enlivens the perception. It is everywhere. It is all pervading. So therefore, he says it is faster than mind, intellect, senses, and action. It's a philosophical way of saying it is all pervading. And being stationary, it outruns all runners. Because again, it is all pervading. No fish can win a race with ocean in ocean. Like, all the sharks, all the whales, all the okras, they decide to go on a marathon, 10,000-mile marathon, right? And there's a competition, and one or two fishes they win, but ocean is already there. So no fish can win a race with the ocean, in the ocean, because ocean is all pervading. It is a philosophical way of saying, or a poetic way of saying, supreme reality is all pervading. This is what you need to understand. It being there, air sustains life. So human being is a combination of spirit and matter. Right from the beginning, we have been saying this. Body, mind, intellect on its own has got no meaning. It is just a matter. So what gives life to body, mind, intellect is Brahman, the supreme reality. What makes me breathe? He's talking about breath here. What makes you breathe? The supreme reality. So from microcosmic level, he is describing what is supreme reality. And verse number 5, mantra 5, he describes it from macrocosmic view, from the universe, from the world view. Let's chant mantra 5, please.
तदेजति तन्नैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्दिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः तदेजति तन्नैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्दिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः.
Translation: that moves not. That is afar, that is even near. Tat meaning that, dure is afar, tat dure. And also it is near. That is inside all this, that is even outside all this. So continues the language of contradiction. So supreme reality, he says, moves. I mean, just now we said it is all pervading, it cannot move. Now we say it moves. And also it moves not. Again, the second sentence. So it's a language of contradiction. Intentionally is using that. So unconditioned Brahman is motionless. It doesn't have any movement. But conditioned Brahman moves. Conditioned Brahman is you and me. See, just as sunlight is all pervading, so the sun above has no movement. But when that sun is captured in a reflecting medium, in a mirror, you can move mirror from place A to place B, right? Or you can even shake the mirror, the sun moves. So the reflecting medium has movement in which sun is reflected. But the sun above has no movement. It is everywhere. It is all pervading, the sun's rays. So similarly, Brahman, supreme reality, is all pervading. Therefore, it cannot have any movement. But conditioned Brahman, which is you and me, body, mind, intellect, is conditioned by supreme reality. So that conditioned Brahman, which is called as Jiva, individual, that moves. You can move from place A to place B. We are doing it all the time. So conditioned Brahman has movement. Unconditioned Brahman has no movement. It's quite simple. Go by the example of all pervading sun and the mirror, the reflecting medium. That is far. Tat dure. That is even near. Antike. Antike means near. U means even. Tat u antike. So supreme reality is far. Also, supreme reality is quite close, is quite near, because it is everywhere. It is all pervading. But there is a fascinating philosophical meaning in this. So supreme reality, you can use the word God, is far for extroverts. People who are indulging in their desires whole life. They keep on pampering their body, mind, intellect. These are the matter equipments you have. You keep on indulging, those who keep on indulging in desires at body, mind, intellect. For such people, for materialistic and sensual people, supreme reality is far. It's like sometimes there's a thick fog, there's a dense fog. Your destination may be half a mile, but it's so thick, it's so dense, the fog, that you can't travel. I mean, how far can you see with your car's headlights? In fact, you cannot. The car's headlights are useless. So either your progress will be slow, or you may have to stop completely because fog is so dense. So similarly, it is not that you don't have the capacity. You have the capacity. Every human being has subtle intellect, and only subtle intellect can conceive something transcendental. What's my purpose in life? What's my mission in life? But desires are so many at all levels of your personality. We are talking about extroverted people. That though you have the capacity, though you have subtle intellect, nobody's denied subtle intellect, but spiritual progress, forget about goal of spiritual enlightenment, goal of spiritual evolution or goal of self-realization is too far for such people. They're completely caught up in their desires. And whole life, what are you doing? Most people are doing.
Chasing desires in the quiet.
That's it. Chasing desires at all levels of your personality. Today I came mentally prepared that maybe 2 or 3 people will be in person. Vijay, Raji, they have to be there. They're the hosts. Veera has to come. He's got a lot of energy. Where will he go? Online, I thought maybe like 10, 15 will maximum come. So definitely those who are attending, congratulations on a long Labor Day weekend where the whole nation is, doing whatever they are doing. We're not saying it is wrong. The whole street is out there right now, Vijay's neighbors. right? It applies. It is so near. The Upanishad is going on. I mean, walking distance, at least for us, for me, is 18 miles for, I don't know. Shailesh Bhai also, it is good 10 miles. So walking distance so near, and yet it is so far. Except one neighbor, your neighbor, right? Yeah, so there are always exceptions. Yeah. One good neighbor is enough. I mean, one was already good, now second. Now both of you can rock Troy. 2, 3. Oh, 2, 3. Okay, right, good. We're improving. So it is far for extroverted people, spiritual growth, the goal of self-realization. You could be in spiritual environment and still not making use of it. Somebody may say, okay, I'm not, and I'm an introvert, I come attend satsanga. Maybe I'm in a place like Vedanta Academy, or I'm in ashram. You could be, but still your focus could be on others. What others are doing, what is happening to him, what is happening to her. Or you could be heading the institution and all your interest is on politics. Will I become the president? Will I become the chairman? Who will be the director? Who will be what? So, though you are face to face with reality, it's God's work, still you are far from the reality. So, supreme reality is far for extrovert because they're wasting their time. It is the easiest way to understand. Wasting their time in what?
Desire, chasing the desire.
Chasing the desires. So therefore, it is far for extroverts, but it is near for introverts. Introverts are the people who have relatively less desires. That is how we describe extroverts and introverts. So introverted people, they have mumukshatva. They have that burning desire to know what is the purpose of life. So every step they take, it brings them closer to supreme reality because direction is correct. Extroverted direction is wrong. Whatever direction they take, they are going to go in the wrong direction. But introverted people, they have that fixation. They are willing to put concerted efforts. They have that burning desire. They have mumukshatva. So therefore, every unit of effort they put, it brings them closer to reality. They are evolving spiritually. And since they have that fixation, efforts are concerted, they are consistent in their efforts. They are not indulging in their desires. Their mind is calm. Since their mind is calm, intellect is available and it can be sharpened and it can easily cut through layers and layers of desires. You see the difference? For extroverts, it's not possible because they are feeding their desires all the time. Since they are feeding their desires all the time, mind remains mentally agitated. Since mind remains mentally agitated, intellect is not available. And without intellect, how can you question the purpose of your life? It is impossible. So therefore, supreme reality is near for introverts. There is sense of urgency in their pursuits. They do not waste their time. They do not wait for clear passage. Extroverts, they wait for clear passage. Let me enjoy Labor Day weekend. From next week, I am joining Upanishads. Congratulations. It's not going to happen. Let me attend to particular thing which is happening in the office. Then I will come to Vedanta. At 32, you think that way. You tell that to yourself. Suddenly you find out, oh my God, I'm 87. Now what? I mean, maybe next life, at least let me die peacefully. So whole life you are waiting for clear passage. Extroverted people. Meaning it's not going to happen. But introverted people, since they have woken up, they have understood the purpose of life. So therefore there is urgency. And also, they see splash of divinity everywhere. People ask, where is divinity? Where is God? Where is supreme reality? Where it is not. The fact that you're asking that question, who makes you ask that question? It is that close. So if you have that perception, you see that divinity. Sometimes when you go for a walk, you see these tiny little birds, where I go, one or two places, and they have created that nesting areas for the bluebirds. I mean, what a bird! It's tiny, and when sun shines on it, I mean, it's a miracle. It's Asharya. So, and still you could be asking, can you show me where is God? If you do not see God in that bird, where is that God? So the splash of divinity is everywhere. If you have that perception, what you think is finite is actually infinite. Where is infinity? People ask. Finite is actually infinite if you have that perception. See, in Vedanta treatise, Swamiji gives that example. To register a sight, it's a medical thing. Smita would know what I am talking about. Literally, millions and millions of operations take place in our body. It's fascinating. If that is not infinity, where is infinity? So, if you are tuned in, if you are introverted, you see splash of divinity everywhere. But extroverted people, they need something bigger to think of divinity. We're not saying it is right, which is wrong. You have to go on a pilgrimage, you have to go on this, you have to go on that. Upanishad is not saying don't do that. You have to do that to remind you of that divinity. But if you are tuned in, staying in a room, you can think of divinity. You can attune to that divinity. So it is far for extroverts, it is near for introverts. That is inside all this, that is even outside all this. I'm reading the last part of translation. So, supreme reality, Brahman, is the substratum of microcosm and macrocosm. But it's not restricted to macrocosm and microcosm, it is beyond. So you can't pinpoint, okay, now I understood, it is less. Supreme reality, Brahman, is a substratum of my personality. And also it is a substratum of the whole universe. Okay, now I understood what is supreme reality. He says, no, it is beyond. So fascinating mantra. So 4 talked about individual. Mantra 5 talked about the universe, microcosm, macrocosm. He continues. Mantra 6, please.
यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतान्यात्मन्येवानुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न विजुगुप्सते यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतान्यात्मन्येवानुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न विजुगुप्सते.
Translation. He indeed who perceives all beings in the very self, and the self in all beings, he then feels no abhorrence. The Sanskrit word is vijugupsate. So you need to understand the thought flow in verse mantra 6, 7, and 8. So those who have the book is quite clear, but still I am mentioning. So mantra 6 talks about pinnacle of spiritual evolution, short of self-realization. It is called as Savikalpa Samadhi. See, self-realization happens in 2 stages. So the first stage is called as partial self-realization, partial realization. The Sanskrit word is Savikalpa Samadhi. And then there is full self-realization. It is called as Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So verse number 6 is talking about a person who is on the verge of self-realization, short of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So the word Savikalpa itself explains a little bit of Sanskrit you need to understand. The word Sa means with, and Vikalpa means thought. So Savikalpa means with thought. So fiber of individuality is still lingering, thought of divinity is still there. And Nirvikalpa is nir. Nir means no, and Vikalpa means thought. So Nirvikalpa, without any thought. So what thought? I mean, when you have become supreme reality, what thought of reality? So Mantra 6 talks about Savikalpa Samadhi, pinnacle of spiritual evolution, short of self-realization. Is called as partial realization. 7 talks about full self-realization, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And Mantra 8 talks about life of an enlightened person after he gains spiritual enlightenment. So he equates him to supreme reality. He has become supreme reality. But there is a lot of misunderstanding. People believe that once person gets enlightenment, something happens to him, he disappears, or he becomes like, I don't know, like Star Wars we used to watch. He can walk through the doors, all sorts of funny things people they imagine. So you remain where you are, but there is complete disconnection from the personality. We'll talk about it. I'm just introducing the concept. So that's the thought flow. So 6 talks about Savikalpa Samadhi, height of spiritual evolution, short of self-realization. 9 talks about state of enlightenment, and 8 talks about life of an enlightened person after he gains enlightenment. This is the thought flow, 6, 7, and 8. So coming back to Mantra 6, he indeed who perceives all beings in the very self and the self in all beings, he then feels no abhorrence. So he has come to a stage where he experiences divinity everywhere. There is total oneness, there is total harmony with objects and beings. So he sees that, experiences that splash of divinity everywhere. But still there is experiencer experiencing relationship is there. There is an individual who is experiencing divinity, right? That means there is a subject-object relationships. The fiber of ego, fiber of individuality is still lingering. Duality is still there. Complete self-realization is oneness. So the easiest way to understand this is, see, when you are ignorant, when ego is pronounced, there is plurality. You see distinction, you see demarcation. Everybody, everything is different from you. There is no harmony, there is no camaraderie, right? There could be conflicts, there could be resistance towards the world. As you evolve spiritually, as your ignorance reduces, or to the extent your ignorance reduces, to that extent you start experiencing oneness. When there is plurality, there is no oneness at all. Can we have the PowerPoint, please? It's a very good way to understand. See, there are 3 stages, a very broad classification. There is plurality, then there is duality, and then there is oneness. Mantra 6 is talking about a person who is in a stage of duality, is the extraordinary state of spiritual evolution. So the figure 3, like 2 pyramids upside down, whatever it is, that is for Mantra 6. But as far as ignorant people are concerned, they see that plurality everywhere. There is distinction, there is demarcation, there is conflict, everything is I'm Indian, you're American. My hair is different, your hair is different. I'm male, you are female. I'm from Michigan, you're from Florida. I'm from West Bloomfield, you're from Bloomfield Hills. All like distinctions and demarcations, maximum, because of ignorance. So therefore, there is constant clash with the word. Ego is pronounced. Ego is a product of ignorance. See, first of all, where there is oneness, there is individuality. So individuality is created because of the ego. And on top of that, you keep on feeding your ego. That is ignorant person. So your relationship with the world, figure one, is it's almost like running into the wall all the time. Wherever such a person goes, he will clash. Bull in a china shop. We often give that example. Everything is so beautiful. Everything is so well arranged. And you let loose a bull in that beautiful china shop. What will happen? Disaster. So what is that bull in a china shop? Who is that bull in a china shop? Hmm? My ego. My ego. So what is the practical implication of that? Bull in a china shop. What is the practical implication of that? Hmm?
That we cause havoc wherever we go.
Excellent. Tim, always 10 out of 10 marks he gets. So wherever such a person goes, there will be destruction. Destruction is like there will be problem. At home, there will be conflict to begin with hubby or wife or whoever. Family, there could be a problem. You go to a workplace, there could be a problem. Society problem, community problem, one nation fighting against the other, there is a problem. So wherever you go, your ego creates that clashes. So therefore, that example, bull in a china shop, everything around you could be beautiful, right? You may have excellent spouse, excellent family, lovely community, everything is peaceful. But since you have that ego, you cannot have that peace. You're not peaceful. So whatever aspect of the world you contact, you will clash. Even inert object is so hot, so hot. There are people who are so upset. I mean, you and I also may say today is a bit uncomfortable. You must be like curse. Why this heat? I don't understand. I curse this wretched place, Michigan. Put him to Florida. I will curse there also. The wretched crocodiles there. I don't. They have no business to come on the street. So not only with people, with environment, with everybody, everything, egoistic person will clash. So to begin with, your individuality is created because of ego is created because of ignorance, and you are pampering that ego, that individuality throughout your life. So most people, they remain at the level of one, the figure one. That constant focus on I, that is ego. Everything you arrogate to yourself, this I, that mine, this me and mine, you have fallen in love with that I, that is ego. See, all of us know the poem, The Mountain and the Squirrel. It sounds almost like a nursery rhyme. Somebody may say, what is this? Are we in nursery? Yes, we are in kindergarten of spirituality, definitely. No, I mean, by Emerson, I mean, great American poet. He talks about unnecessarily mountain picks up a fight with the squirrel. Squirrel is nicely minding her own business, carrying those acorns or whatever, and he can't sign that sight, Mr. Mountain, with that ego. I am big, I am huge. He says, what are you doing? I'm so big, you're so tiny. So that's the poem all about. So squirrel tries to educate a mountain. You have a place, I have a place. We can't replace each other. If I cannot carry forests on my back, neither can you crack a nut. But egoistic person will not understand that. He will have complexes, either superiority complex or inferiority complex. This is how you clash with the world. Figure one we are talking about. So that clash will happen at home, it will happen at work, it will happen in the community, it will happen with other nations, it will happen with environment, it will happen with everybody, including yourself. At the end of the day, you are disturbed. I hate myself. I mean, so much of pronounced ego. But as you start evolving, as you get this knowledge, your ego reduces. That is figure 2. You gradually start identifying with people. There is harmony, there is camaraderie, there is feeling of oneness. So sign of spiritual evolution is what? There's only one sign in this context. There's only one parameter of spiritual evolution. What is it? Reduction.
Identify with others.
Reduction of your ego. To what extent you identify with others, to what extent you feel one with others. So therefore he says, somebody who has reached a state of duality, see, he feels oneness with everybody, right? Irrespective of how others treat you. That's the catch. Otherwise, I say, I love you, you love me. I mean, what's the greatest love story in the world? Even in husband and wife, it starts like that. You love me, I can't live without you. You gave her a rose 30 years back, and now what rose? Only thorns, you're ready with the thorns. Rose is gone long time back. So therefore he says, for such a person, there is no vijugupsate. There is no abhorrence. It's a very poor translation. I mean, not some words cannot be translated. As you evolve spiritually, you don't feel dislike towards others. There is no hatred. There is no bitterness. There is no resistance. You may not clash externally, but internally you may have resistance. Oh, he's too smart. I don't know what he thinks of himself. No, you may not clash externally, but internally you are resisting. And the best example I can think of, we always give this example, is a relationship between a mother and a child. I think all mothers, they have understood what I'm trying to say. So explanation is for fathers, right? So no mother feels dislike, bitterness. There is no resistance towards the child. There are 5 mothers here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Would you have bitterness towards your own child? And maybe the worst child in the world. For arguments, spoiled, right, completely. You may not appreciate certain things in your own child. It's not that you will not correct or whatever. If necessary, mother will correct. Maybe one or two wax also she might give. At least we are born and brought up in a diet of wax. So therefore, we are wherever we are. But no mother feels that sense of bitterness. Do you understand that example? Why there is no sense of bitterness? Why there is no hatred? Why there is no dislike? Why there is no resistance towards your own child? If you understand that psychology, the rest is simple. Why?
There is a oneness and no ego in a mother. The mother feels...
Who says no? I mean, ask husband. What are you talking? All the maximum ego. Mother is not sent, definitely. We are talking about only mother and a child relationship. I can see so many mothers in person, on screen. What is it? Are you a mother?
Mother feels
what I'm saying.
Mother feels the part.
Coming from me, it's very closer to me. Because everyone gives more importance to self. That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm. Feeling of oneness. Very simple. Mother feels child is part of me. Period. There is no other explanation. So where there is feeling of oneness, what dislike, what differences, what bitterness, what hatred, what resistance? all disappears. It just talk. So that is a sign of spiritual evolution. Now you apply this to you and me, we know where we stand, you know. And same thing Christ says, hate the sin, not the sinner. Applies to mother also. She may not appreciate particular quality in her own son or a daughter. She may try to correct it, but she doesn't hate the sinner. She doesn't hate the person. Same concept. That doesn't mean you're passive and others prey on you. This is how it is usually understood. Now, you may not abhor others. You may have that feeling of oneness, but other person may hate you for no reason. I mean, you can't help it. It could be because of the color of your skin. It may be because hair is curly. Because you're shaven, I'm male, she is female, the other way around. For no fault of yours, people may abhor you. They may dislike you. But still you feel one with them. But how you deal with that situation, that depends on the situation. It's not that you become a doormat. Anybody can walk on you. But you don't hate the sin. I mean, you hate the sin, you don't hate the sinner. So he is talking about a person in whom there is no abhorrence because he sees that splash of divinity everywhere. There is complete harmony, there is complete oneness. So his grief is gone. Mental agitations are gone. There are hardly any or zero mental agitations, but still delusion is not gone. So the shoka goes. Somebody who has reached savikalpa samadhi, there is no shoka, there is no grief. There are no mental agitations, but delusion is not gone. He still has not apprehended supreme reality because fiber of individuality is still lingering. So state of savikalpa samadhi is shoka is gone, grief is gone, mental agitations are gone, but moha means delusion. Delusion is still there. And the best example to understand this is rope and snake comparison. There is a rope, there is a snake. Either you apprehend rope as a rope, meaning you see rope as a rope, where is the problem? But if you do not apprehend rope as a rope, non-apprehension of rope creates misapprehension of a snake. And once there is a snake, then there are attendant fears. Is he poisonous? Is he big? Will he bite me? Is he dangerous? All that. There is nothing you can do about it. But once you get the knowledge of the rope, you haven't still apprehended the rope, but you understood that this snake is nothing but a rope. But still you haven't, you're not seeing the rope. Non-apprehension still lingers. Misapprehension is gone. So therefore, all agitation about snake is gone. But delusion is still lingering. What is that delusion? Non-apprehension. You still haven't understood the rope. Yes, something is lying there. Okay, it's not a snake. So therefore, you are peaceful. That is the state he's talking about. The state of partial self-realization. So there is apprehension of Brahman. There is non-apprehension of Brahman. And non-apprehension of Brahman produces the misapprehension of the pluralistic world, which is actually not there. And then there is attendant fear. Mental agitation, worry, anxiety, conflict, plurality, and all that. So as your ignorance goes, as you start getting this knowledge, as you get established in this knowledge, you come to a stage where all agitations are gone. Misapprehension is gone. Because you're seeing, experiencing divinity everywhere. But still you have not apprehended Brahman. You get the difference. Non-apprehension is still there. Yes, he's on the verge of merging with the reality, but he has not become one with supreme reality. In deep sleep, the easiest example to understand it, deep sleep is non-apprehension. So that doesn't mean in deep sleep we become enlightened people. But there are no agitations at all, zero agitations. Every day we go through that experience. The moment we wake up, either you could be in a waking state or you could be in a dream state. There are mental agitations. It's a question of more or less. Even if you are a highly, highly peaceful person, Still, you may have your pockets where world will agitate you. You could have disharmony, conflict with the world. May not manifest. It could be internally. So that's the proof that you have not apprehended the reality. But there is non-apprehension. That is a state of deep sleep. Is a state of non-apprehension. That means delusion is still there. What is that delusion? What is that moha? You're still not one with supreme reality. A dreamer who is on the verge of becoming a waker. So he's very peaceful as far as dream world is concerned. He is understood. He is nothing but waker's mind. But still, he has not become one with the waker. Non-apprehension is still lingering. Moha is still there. Delusion is still there. So that's the state we are talking about in mantra 6. And mantra 7 is very straightforward. So that lingering individuality also goes. So the seeker becomes one with reality. So after that, who is experiencing what? We say it is a figure of speech, but actually there is one, when you become one with reality, that experienced relationship goes. There is no subject-object relationship. There is only oneness. It's like a river merging with the ocean. Now, where is river? Where is ocean? You can't distinguish, right? So that's the state of nirvikalpa samadhi, the state of self-realization, where that last fiber of ego is completely gone. You become one with supreme reality, and there is only oneness. So that is mantra 7. So if you understand mantra 6, therefore we had a lot of discussion and explanation. Mantra 7 is no big deal. So are we okay? So you had a question, right? What is your question?
When we have so much love as a child, right, with the oneness,
Right.
but is it the ego is, clashing that kind of sometimes, hatred in ourself, our individual self,
Correct.
and so much of angry, and self, no, I did wrong, something I did, I'm stupid, like, that kind of things. Is that ego? Is that creating that questions, the doubts?
Yeah. What is the name? Ruby. Yeah. So Ruby has a question. It is about mother and a child example. So let's say mother has total identification with the child, but the same person may have like conflicts, confrontation within oneself, not necessarily with others. See, I gave mother and a child example just to explain the concept. So there is only one aspect which can be compared in that example. That total identification, feeling of oneness between mother and a child, especially from mother to child. So she feels one with a child. It doesn't matter what child does. Child may be nasty to you, child may scream at you, child may yell at you. It's not going to make any difference to mother. Why? Because it's that complete oneness. So where there is oneness with others, the effect of that is complete harmony, irrespective of what you are doing. The question you are asking is, obviously all these are symptoms of ego. The same lady may have terrible problem with her own husband, with her mother-in-law, with her colleagues, with her neighbor. So she may be the worst person, but she's the best mother. Because ego is tremendous ego is functioning. So wherever there is ego, there is that distinction, there is demarcation, there is that division. Where there is distinction, there is demarcation, there is division. I mean, how can there be any harmony, peace, or identification? So it is your own ego. So therefore, that figure 1 is very useful. It's like you hit the wall all the time. It doesn't matter what you are interacting, which aspect of the world you're interacting. There will be clashes, there will be conflict. All right, so Yeah, it's time up. Let's conclude for today. And I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amiji.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Amiji.
Thank you,
Thank
Amici.
Thank
Good.
you.
Have a good weekend.
you, Amiji.
You too. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, Amiji.
Thank you, Amiji.